Okay, once you have your initial setup, you backed up your saved places, you registered your product, you got your language all set, your vehicle all set. Once your tractor trailer and everything is established, go to the wrench, scroll down. Oops. There's it. Max speed. You want to make sure you put, like if your truck is governed at 62 mile an hour, I recommend putting your max speed at 59. And like say if you're at 65, I'd say put your max speed at 63. If you're at 68, like I am, I put it at 64. That gives you time for some stoppages, like if you got backups on the roads, and still it keeps a very accurate ETA of where you're headed to. Okay. Now, we're going to select our vehicle. Then we come to the main home screen. This is where I change things. I like to press and hold the background, select the wallpaper. I like this wallpaper right here. There, set it. That way it's not too dark during the day and it's not too bright at night. Now you got all these icons on here. So the first thing we want to do is we want to take our, what I do is I take, oops, sorry. I take the E-log and I get rid of it. I put the stop over here in this, oops. That's a new icon on the dash cam for me, is having that camera. Okay. System updates I keep. Service history I get rid of. IFTA I get rid of. Get rid of all of these things. There. Then what I do is I go here. And then let's see what we got. Trip planner. Press and hold it. I put trip planner in there. So it's quick. So when I hit the back, when I'm in the map, hit the back button, I go straight to trip planner. And see, when I did my backup, all my backups came. So delete all those. Yep, there. And new trip, select start. Easy. Alright. Now, then I also like to go to productivity, and I like to put the clock up here. The clock up there. I like to bring the calculator down. And when I'm really bored and I'm sitting somewhere for a long time and I connect to the internet, I like to have my browser. Way you could do YouTube and watch YouTube when you're sitting. Or you could surf the internet, check out Google or whatever. Alright, that's that. Now I go to settings, navigation. Got the vehicle and profile down. Maps and vehicles are done. Route preferences. Route preview, disable. Calculation mode, fastest time. Brake planning, disable. Avoidances. I do ferries, U-turns, ferries, carpool lanes, and unpaved roads. Leave highways unchecked for avoidances. Dispatch track auto start. I disable that. Environmental zones, always ask. Toll roads. We're allowed toll roads, so I do allow. There are some toll roads we're not allowed. That's where you go to custom avoidances. Here's something important. If you do add a void road, and say you go from here, come on, there. Oops. Say you go from there to here, and then it's going to do that road. Your next map update, even though it's enabled, it won't work. So what I recommend is area, and then you kind of like zoom into your map. You find the roads you want to avoid. Let's say you don't want to go down this Jessica Adele court here. So what I do, tap there. Oop, wait, come on. Next. That's kind of poor, but you know, you do like there, next, there, and it will block that road. Your next map update, that will still be enabled and it will function properly. Okay, I'm not going to save any of those because I got my own avoidances to worry about. But right now, any of the data transfer that you save doesn't save your custom avoidances. Restricted mode, features disable while moving, disable. Language, English language Samantha, that she gives turn-by-turn instructions, and she'll say something like turn right at Walgreens on the corner. Travel history, I leave that enabled. Go back, route preferences, driver assistance, I really don't mess with proximity alerts, audio, off. Custom, I don't want any Garmin red light cameras or custom POIs popping up on my screen while I'm driving. Disable all those. Then I go down to traffic. Compatible traffic, okay, I use the Garmin smartphone link app, so I select that, Garmin Live Traffic. Then go back, optimize route on request, traffic alerts, off. I watched my ETA changes. I'll show you where I could find traffic delays. Okay, and that's just in this one. That's back. Now we go to the map. Now over here, you have your little wrench. This gives you a pop-up window with all this thing. What I do is I go there, I get rid of stop, I don't know about the camera, I might keep the camera. I'm gonna disable the camera, change route, I leave up ahead, I disable elevation and turns, I enable trip data, disable volume, because volume is right here on the buttons right here, real easy. You just go up and down, so I don't need another volume thing. Traffic, enable your traffic. Garmin e-log and dispatch and track, I disable and I disable. Now we'll go back and you have up ahead, trip data, press and hold. Oh, wait, press and hold. For some reason it isn't here. It's not working. All right, so first thing I got to do now is I have to go back to settings, go to Bluetooth, and then I need to enable my Bluetooth, and then that will give you traffic and weather. So they're not on here right now, and I'm using the phone to record this, so I can't really do it. I don't know if I could enable searching for Bluetooth while I'm recording. So the last time I paused and went away and came back. All right, I might end the video here and then continue on the next segment. All right, now I'm connected to my Bluetooth, and there's a little symbol on the screen that's in blue and highlighted because it's connected to the smartphone link app, which I highly recommend having on your phone connected to your app. Your app connected to your GPS. Now, when you view trip, you hit this wrench. What I want to do, I want to get rid of phone. I don't like using the phone. I have a Bluetooth headset I take phone calls over. I don't want the phone doing it over my GPS while I'm trying to drive, because all the truck noise will go into the GPS and the people can't hear you. All right, so here we are. Now, up ahead. Red light cameras can be displayed in up ahead window. Add now? No. Now, it says truck stops, restaurants, and truck parking. What I like to do, I like to change it up a little bit. So I hit this wrench, I bring truck stops, whoops. I bring truck stops down, restaurants, truck rest areas. So I have truck rest areas, truck stops, and truck parking. Save. Now let's just, just for fun, let's just go over to Loves. Okay, navigate to Loves. Now it has our arrival time. Up top, I like to put,
please drive to highlighted route.
That's going to be the next thing we fix. So let's see, time of day. Put the time of day. Then I like to put via point distance. And then here I like to put arrive in, your total time of driving. So whenever you have like another stop, it'll have the total time, your total ETA, and your arrival time, and your distance to your next stop. That's how I like it. Now let's cancel this load, or cancel that. Now let's view the map. Now what I do, it has your direction here. I just changed these to other things, like I'll put the next mile marker in. Here I'll put elevation, or I don't know, moving time, total time, sunrise. I don't like to put the sunrise and sunset because the clock messes with me. So I'll put the elevation, and then here I'll put the time of day. Oops. Oh yeah, yep. So now when I'm not under a route, it has time, elevation, mile marker, and direction. When I'm in a route, it has time, distance to the next stop, ETA, and the time of my arrival. Okay? So now I'm going to pause. Before we pause, let's go back, go into your apps, then navigation, voice command. In voice command, mute.
Say a command.
Mute instructions. Now when you say voice command, find address, exit. It doesn't talk back up to you. Okay? And here you have a wake up phrase. You could change it. You could change that to something else. I tried doing it before, it didn't work very well, but that was on an older model. So for now, I'm going to pause it until I can think about what the next thing is, to next setting to change. Alright, I thought about the next setting, and it's phone calls. There's two ways you could do it. You can go through the phone app, which I already got rid of off the screen. So go into Bluetooth, hit the little, see where it says hands-free and smartphone link? Disable hands-free. And then okay. And that way when you get a phone call, it won't come over. And then hit okay. Now, the smartphone link app. That thing is so amazing. Like, you could use your phone and you could pick an address on Google Maps and copy it. Put it in the smartphone link app. Search it, select it, and then send it to your GPS without ever touching your GPS, and you could go to that destination. You don't have to speak the address, you don't have to type the address in. All you have to do is either have the address copied or the coordinates copied, which is the next thing that I just remembered. So where to? Okay. And categories. Learn more. Coordinates. In coordinates, this is the default setting, north by whatever degrees, whatever. You want to change that to DDD mm.mmmmmm. Okay? But no, I'm wrong. You want to change it to this format, HDDD dot, because if you copy coordinates from Google Maps, it's going to be in that format. If you put that format of numbers into that format of coordinates, it's going to be a different place altogether, and you will not land, and it will take you somewhere wrong. So it has to be in this format. And then save it and go back and see how it gives you a different number. So, I mean, it's similar, but it's not the same. All right. And then, yeah, so we got the hands-free, got the coordinates. And then we have this page. Now, what I do is I remove the shortcuts. I don't use gas stations for my truck. I don't use Foursquare because I sleep in my truck, not hotels. I don't use TripAdvisor. Now, go home. Okay, done. Then, how I have mine set up, I like to put this. Where to?
Please drive to highlighted route.
Okay, go home. I like to put saved over here. Trip planner up here. Recents. Okay. A little tricky, ain't it? Come on. Oi. There. Now, truck locations and services. I don't like to use those because I don't typically do that. So what I do is I'll add a shortcut category, trucking. I'll do rest areas. Okay. And then I'll do category, trucking, truck stops. And they're a little different. Well, I'll deal with that later, moving them around where I like, but I want to show you a nice little trick. So, where to? So, I don't know, let's say truck stops. So you got a list, but you don't know where to, where they headed. So, you select the overview route. And it shows my current route. I came from east and I'm over here. But it shows all the truck stops in the area. Oops. Well, this is a touchy one. So, do truck stops. But when you're in the map overview, like if you did your save places, like save places, all save places, it has a little hearts of all your saved places on your map. Let's see. And it goes out. I mean, it can go all your saved places. Let's show all over the country. So like if you're on your route, whatever saved category you have, if you have like truck parking category, or if you have, favorite truck stops category, it'll show you right along your route all your saved places, and then you select it and it tells you exit 1, 2, 3. All right, that's it for now, unless I can think of something else. I think that about covers how I set up my GPS. Excuse me. There's another setting in maps. What I do, I select the settings, navigation, map and vehicle, go down to my maps, and it has Parkopedia, Foursquare, North America DEM, and North America all. I disable Parkopedia and Foursquare. I don't want all that stuff on my GPS, and when I do a search for a truck stop or parking, I don't want Parkopedia and Foursquare stuff to pop up also, because it'll park up. Like if you do a rest area and it's on Foursquare, the rest area will show up as Foursquare, and it will also show up as Parkopedia, and it will also show up as a truck parking spot. So you'll have 3 selections for the same place. So I disable those 2 because I don't use them. And then select OK. Map layers, I just leave it on traffic. That's so since I have it connected to my to the smartphone link app. Let's see, I like trip, there we go, trip data over here, trip data. Now let me navigate home. Since it says as my safe place, you don't know where I live, so that's cool.
Please drive to highlighted route.
You could turn that down. Oops, that's all the way up. All right. Forget what I was doing. Oh, we map. So you have your up ahead. We already went through that. Trucks, rest areas, truck stops, and parking. Parking is sometimes the same as the rest areas. Sometimes something different will pop up, so I just use that. This tells you your next stops. Okay? Now, you have traffic. There's no traffic reported ahead. What I like to do is I keep an eye on my ETA, right? My ETA changes without me stopping. All of a sudden I know something's popping up to add time to my thing. So that's where I go here and I check traffic. If you leave traffic alerts on, every once in a while you will get a thing pop up on the screen, and the pop up on the screen will tell you, you know, construction zone 8 miles ahead, no delay. I don't need to know that. I keep my eyes on the road. I know when I see a construction zone coming up. So I just disable all those alerts and I just watch my ETA. Now, when you have that trip preview, it gives you the opportunity to change, you know, to see your turn by turn. Well, there you don't need that, because all you got to do is touch this top green bar and it gives you turn by turn all the way. It tells you. So there. And then go back, stop. All right. And that about covers that. And if I could think of anything else, I'll be right back. I also recommend turning off your GPS at night and on the weekends, because if you leave it on, you could fry it. So to save it, like if I have a camera on, like this is a diesel cam, so I want my camera on at night in case somebody hits me at a truck stop. So what I'll do is, instead of leaving the screen on, I'll touch the clock, and in the clock I'll hit night mode, and then it just puts a little screensaver up, and that way the GPS is still on and recording, or the camera is still on and recording. The GPS is still on, but the screen is off. Okay? Well, in closing, for the diesel truck GPS setup, there's so much to cover. There's a lot of little things. Now, the reason why I recommend Garmin, it has voice command. And in voice command, you can speak an address. You don't have to touch the screen. You could do a list of your saved places, and you could just pick and choose. You don't even have to touch your GPS to do anything. That is one of the greatest things, especially while you're driving. And now, also, when you're planning a route, it has shape routing. I highly recommend you learn how to utilize this. I could try to explain it to you. I could try to show it to you. But the best way for you to do is to get in up to your elbows and figure it out, because it's really easy, but sometimes it can be complicated because it doesn't want to send you the way you want it to go. Because I always tell people, know before you go. The GPS is an excellent tool, but it's mostly used for your ETA. As far as routing, you need to know where you're going, and you need to have the GPS route you the way you need to go. Because if you just put an address in and you follow it, you will end up in an area where you're not supposed to be in. And as a truck driver, let me tell you, that is not fun. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If there's anything possible, I don't know if I could help you any further on this, but there's maybe leave a question in the comments. If I get a chance to it and see it, I'll reply to it. I can't promise that I'll be on it like next day or anything, because as a truck driver, you know, I drive mostly 5.5, 6 days a week, so I try to look at it and see to it. But if you have any questions, or it's the greatest thing in trucking since sliced bread. Thank you and take care.